Well, today, apologies for starting this late. It's not really, I didn't actually start late. So I did start even 2 minutes before time, but generally, this was supposed to be for the community members. But as we're going on, no, the community members didn't join, and apparently the public can't even see it. And so I decided, let me just change that and just start this whole again. Welcome. We have our first viewer online. The book that we're going to review is The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason, George Samuel Clason. And it's a book that is actually a classic. It's a classic book that has been on for decades. I mean, this book is literally older than a lot of people. And here, the first copyright is 1955. And it's been such a book that has really helped a lot of people. You see people who talk about reading this book and the effect that it has had on their life. And for me personally, it's also a book that I've used. I've read this book over 2 decades ago, over 20 years ago was the first time I came in contact with this book. And I must tell you that the book has really changed my life. It really changed my life in the way that I look at money, in the way that I handle money, in the way I understand money, and in the way I make money work for me. And so it's also a book that many people do attest to the fact that it has really changed their life for good, for the for better. And so today we're just going to discuss this book. We've been talking about it for a long time and just saying to people, hey, pick up the book and read it and let's have a book review. Let's share from our different perspective what we've been able to learn or what we've understood just from reading the book. One thing that is very important to note is that you all can read the same book, but everybody will have their own perspective of the book. Everybody will have their own understanding of the book. Everybody will have what it is that were like key points to them, what it is that they readily could understand or, or grab from the book. And so sometimes it's important when you do book reviews, you just find, oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, I didn't understand it that way. Sometimes in reviewing the book, you get to understand certain parts better than you did understand them before. And sometimes it's just, hey, that's another perspective that you never looked at, but that you now got to understand. So this is how these things usually work. And for today, honestly, I want it to be interactive, and that's why I have it on. It's something that people can call in and explain the part of the book. Hopefully, those who call in are those who have read the book and will be able to get. We are reviewing chapter 1, and it will really be nice to be able to get that a review done. And if you could go ahead, just in the comment section, just say hi, give us your name, where you're watching us from, and that would really be useful in getting the conversation going. The book review is supposed to be interactive. It's more all of us sharing our ideas together, not a monotone like the way the other lectures usually would be like. Those are sort of like a bit different, but in this case, you will need to have that conversation ongoing. So yeah, like to so let's have the highs, let's have the conversation, let's have let's have that going on. And please kindly go ahead. I'm just gonna put I've put in the link for which you can actually join. I've pinned it down. So yeah, that's it pinned. And you can go on. Oh, thank you, Wet Legacy. Thank you so much. And I really do appreciate that. Well done. Thank you. So we have Wealth Legacy here with us. It's really a pleasure having you. And so let's have that conversation. Let's make it interactive. Let's talk to each other. Let's talk about this book. Have you read this book? Did you read it in the last 1 week that we've been talking about the fact that we're going to review it? Is it a book you've read a long, long time before? Or is it a book that you've heard about, but you've never bought it? Or you never got it, or it's a book that you've heard about, it's been recommended to you, you've bought it, but you've never read it. So it will really be interesting. It will really be the best for us to have an interactive discussion. And of course, Word Legacy is the first super on live stream. Well done, well done. Thank you so much. And so please let's keep it in. Let's have the conversation going. On a normal day, we're always having conversation here. So I wonder, why are we a bit shy? Why today? Okay, maybe today is Sunday. Everyone is tired and thinking about next week and what to do. And so I would like us to have Taz Bemdo. It's always inspired being on Aisha's show. Thank you so much for your kind words. And let me know, have you read the book? We're supposed to review this today. And let me just know, have you read the book? Are you going to read the book? What's going on? Ooh, and all of that. So let's have those conversations going. We're supposed to review chapter 1. That's what we are reviewing right now. At the very beginning, we are just starting, and it will really be lovely to hear from you. I just don't want to go into the book review, because the essence of book review is interactive conversation. I've read this book. I've used this book. I've utilized the all the gems that are in there. But I need us to start off. I need us to have a conversation. I need to also hear your perspective. Zoba, it's the richest man in Babylon. We've been saying it for like over a week. The richest man in Babylon. That's what we're reviewing. We'll be reviewing that every Sunday at 9 p.m. Nigerian time and 9 p.m. West African time. And that's the book that we're going to be reviewing every Sunday. So we do a chapter every week. And I wanted to know, Zoba, have you read the book before? Please let me know in the comment section. Have you read the book? I really want this to be interactive. Really, really want this to be interactive. And please, you can also speak. The link is there. I've pinned the link. Just click on it and then come on. Let's hear you. Let's hear you talk. You can also go ahead so that we can hear from you. Godfrey Jimo said, I read the book over 20 years ago after my secondary school. Okay, fantastic. Okay, Zoba says no, she hasn't read the book. It's a really good book if you're working on financial literacy. It's a very old book. It's the book in itself, it's over 60 or 70 years now that the author wrote it. And then the thing also about the book is that it is a setting of ancient times, but the advice that is there and the methods and the teachings, they are timeless. So it's a book that is set up in very ancient times, but you can relate it to the modern time and be able to also learn from it. Akba Ikechuku, I love your show. It said, keep it up, ma. Thank you so much. And God bless you. Franklin Ejikeme says, I've heard a lot about the book, but I'm yet to read it. I mean, this could be an opportunity. Oh, from James also said, I know about the book, but never read it. I want to be with you as you review. I wanted us to do, group review. That is so much better. And then if there's anyone who has read the book, please click on that link that I've just sent in, that I've pinned down, so that you can join the conversation and let's also hear from you. Because I didn't want this to be about my own perspective of the book and me just reading the book. But hey, you guys are not helping me. Oh. You are not motivating me to continue on this. We're supposed to have a group review, a group discussion. I've done this book like over 20. Okay, yes. I have Idris Leke. It's coming on. Hopefully, Idris has read the book and is going to help us in review. Good evening, Idris.
Good evening. It's a pleasure.
Well, well done. It's a pleasure having you here too. So, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from the UK. I'm in England.
Okay. Okay, England. Oh, that's quite interesting because I'm currently in Scotland, in Aberdeen,
Uh,
also from the UK. So, have you read the book?
Actually, when I saw this live pop up, I was like, I actually recommended this book about 5 days ago to someone, and
Mm,
I saw you reviewing. I was like, oh, this is a conversation I would love to join.
okay. So,
Yeah,
so that means since you are recommending it, that means you've read it.
yeah. So it was recommended to me by
Mhm.
an old man that was about 10 years ago.
Mhm.
So I read it when I was in my early 20s. Yeah. So
Um,
the old man just told me that, "Oh, I want to give you a gift." And then he told me the name of a couple of books and said, if you read this book, you study it, you are never going to be a small man in your life. You'll never be poor. You'll be able to manage your finances effectively. And I
mhm,
went ahead, I bought the book, and it's really changed my mind about finances generally. And yeah,
mhm,
so everywhere I go, I recommend it to people. I talk about it to people. If it's regarding finances, there's no any book I believe can be written that can actually be more than that book. And it's just a little book, very small book, but very
mhm,
powerful.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. That's so great. I'm glad you read that book. And the thing also about the book is, and from the teachings of the book is that get people to learn, recommend it to other people, try and teach with other people, share your ideas, share your experience. It's not about trying to hold it. There's enough wealth in the world. Many
Yeah.
people think that if somebody is wealthy to take away from the other person's wealth. No, there's enough wealth in the world to go around to everybody. So it's really interesting. So thank you so much, for
Yeah.
joining us today. So we'll be
Yeah.
doing the review every Sunday, 9 p.m. Nigerian time,
Mhm.
currently also UK time. So 9 p.m. It will be really lovely having you join us. If you can you remember the chapter one? Because today we're going to review chapter one. It's in a
Um,
while.
yeah, yeah. I know very well that the chapter one actually spoke about um I'm trying to remember the characters now. They are by their names. I'm trying to recall their names.
Bansil.
Well.
There's
Um
Bansil.
there is Bansir, there is Agami,
Kobe,
you know.
his friend Kobe.
Yeah.
Arad.
So yeah, it was about a young man who was from chapter one, worried about how his life has turned, despite
Mhm,
seeing people, his contemporaries, who were not even as smart as he was when they were in school,
mhm,
who were
mhm,
not as much intelligent as he was. Some of his friends who, particularly this guy who became really wealthy and wasn't an extraordinary person from when they
mhm,
were growing up together. And he was worried that why this guy is living the life that we will call La Vida Loca, right,
mhm,
living a crazy life, he is still struggling to, you know, even supply food stuff in his own house, and his wife, will be there worrying him, and his whole life was in a mess. So he wanted to know how actually men can escape poverty, men who don't necessarily have to have extraordinary advantages in life. They were able to beat poverty and became extremely rich, and he started asking questions. And I
mm.
know that was how the chapter one,
Oh.
that's the setting. I can remember clearly.
You remember it very well, very vividly. That's in a nutshell what the chapter one is all about. I had to even read it again this evening to just note the names and put writing that because I know I was coming in to do a review. So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much also for sharing and recommending
Yeah.
the book to other
Yeah.
people. And
And
hopefully
then
we'll have you here.
for me, the height of the whole thing was a story of that Nineveh farmer who
Mhm,
understood the language of animals. And as a matter of fact, is one of the I was going to go on live on TikTok to
mhm.
talk about this because I've seen a lot of people confused about finances. They
Yeah.
really don't know what to do. And I've been thinking lately that, oh, I should be able to put this out so that people, will learn. And when I see you, like, look, I would love to be
Please
part of
do
this.
it. Please do it. No, you remember it also talked about no procrastination. That farmer
Yeah,
that was supposed to buy sheaves. That trade that was supposed to buy sheaves because the gate was closed, he procrastinated by morning,
Yeah.
the farmer and all of that. So I would say also to you, please don't procrastinate. Go ahead and do it. Do that live. Just start it. Just because there are a lot of people that are out there thinking it's difficult. They don't understand what money is. So with you bringing in your perspective, it will really help a lot. Do it YouTube, on Twitter live, YouTube live, TikTok live. It will really help a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Thank
look
you.
forward to seeing your videos on all of that review and financial, literacy video. That will really be lovely.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Thank
much. Thank
thank
you
you
very much,
so
man.
much.
All
Thank you
right.
so much for
And then,
joining
and
us
then
today.
quickly, I want to commend you for what you are
Mhm.
doing. I always see your video and like I love what you're doing. I really
Um,
appreciate you that even in this period, in this time, when it's very difficult to find people, coming out openly to say the truth, to talk. Mm.
so thank you so much. Now, Zoba, but here, let me go on as we wait for others to be able to join. Please, you can also get PDF electronic copies. I think there are some people who have shared that PDF before. Why Jubri Saga? Thank you so much. DY Father, thank you. Ayo Akirinade, thank you so much for your kind words. Innocent Raphael, I'm doing great. Coco, good evening. Good evening to you all. Yes, we have another person who is. Oh my goodness, I think I just made a mistake. Did I? Okay, no, I didn't. I thought I removed instead of adding.
Hi,
Hello,
sir. Good evening.
good evening. And can you tell us your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, Aisha, my name is Godfred Jimo. I'm
Mm-hmm.
calling from Glasgow, Scotland.
Okay.
I'm very
Well
close to
done,
you.
Godfrey Jimo. So have you read the book?
Yes, over 20 years ago,
Oh my goodness.
I was after my secondary school.
Okay.
So when I saw the title, The Richest Man in Babylon, I was like, wow, I would like to share my experience based
Mm-hmm.
on my the little I learned from the book. So I know I can't tell you all,
Mm-hmm.
just the way my last colleague did, but I know the little I learned from that book was about seed sowing, about
Mm,
how the multiplier effect of money.
mm, yeah.
So, in summary, the history of financial investment that we are looking at today in the world span from that book, The Richest Man in Babylon. What the
Mm,
simple principle is that um, once you make money from money, all you need to do is take what you make from that money and multiply it. So it's an old principle that say whatever you make from your profit, try to sow it in, and that money will make more money for you.
mm,
And if you continue, just like a ripple effect, a multiplier effect on how your money grow. So it was a simple principle based on discipline, on how
mm-hmm,
you make sure that you don't touch whatever you get from that money that you sow. Rather, you make that money to create children. And you'll notice that your money will grow from like a seed to a tree. So that's just the
mm.
picture representation that is still with me to date. And
Wow.
based on that book, that just puts that money as a seed, and once it brings out two seeds, make sure those two seeds create more seeds.
Mm,
And if you continue that way, and if you are well disciplined, you will notice that you continue to grow your finances over time. So that's just the summary of what I could remember from that book, The Richest Man in Babylon. And thank you for bringing it up again because I'm so going to look for that book again. It really
yep.
helped me a lot, and it helped in my youthful years then when I was still, trying to go to school, and it really
Mm.
helped a lot, and it built my financial discipline a lot. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, you really you just sort of like summarize the book in its essence, the multiplier effect of money. You make money from money, and he repeatedly, the author repeatedly talked about monies being like slaves. that you're supposed to put to work, not that you just work and start eating the money. Because what a lot of people do is that they earn money, they eat the money. So they are the ones working for their monies. They don't allow the money work for them.
For you,
And even
yes.
some people, even before earning the money, they've eaten it. Those that use credit card, buy everything on credit, and they are always paying and never give their money, the chance to do that. And also you talked about that discipline, which is very important. Delayed gratification. Don't eat
Yes.
it now. Don't do instant gratification. Put it to work. Wait a little bit. When those children are bringing in, passive income, then you can then be using that to enjoy your life. That one for a book you've read over 20 years ago. It says a lot that you still remember it in this way. And the thing about the book is how simple it is. It's not
Very
complicated.
uh-uh.
There are some financial books you are reading, then they are so complicated, big. This one is so simple, just breaks it down, and it's something that one easily remembers. Thank you so much for joining
Okay.
us, and hopefully you will get the book because you're going to be doing it chapter by chapter.
Definitely.
Today,
I'm
yes,
going
today
to,
we'll do
because
chapter one.
yeah,
Go ahead.
from memory, what I can remember then is the book is a guiding principle. So
Mhm,
it doesn't tell you to just read it and stop there. It gives you like a practical reality of life. So when you read chapter one, you tend to want to apply the principle.
mhm,
That's what I know I remember then. So for each chapter you read, you try to apply the principle in every aspect of your life. And
mm,
so you notice that you have to be very disciplined. The problem is now about saving the money. The major problem is about making that money work for you. So you need to drop a template. I know then I there was nothing like mobile phone. So we have this paper where we used to do our manual Excel sheets, and I
mm.
drew my own template of my money I was investing, and it really worked. But
Oh,
unfortunately, financial discipline need to be inculcated in it. But I've learned a lot, and I'll continue with the series. Thank you so much for having me today.
absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us from Glasgow. Thank you, and do
Okay,
have a lovely evening. While I'll be reading your comments. Keep continue, and you can always join again. Thank you so
sure.
much.
Thank you,
Well
Aisha. Bye.
done.
Bye.
You're welcome. Okay, yeah, so that's Godfrey from Glasgow. And you see the book, even though it's been long that people read it, but they're still remembering it, they are still being excited about it. And the thing about the book also is the fact that you need to apply it. Don't just read it for fashion, don't just buy it and keep it. Read it, apply it, put in the work, and definitely you're going to see the result. So I'm going to start today. Let's say, okay, today, this is our first chapter we are reviewing. Let me just take it on. Hopefully, as we go on, more of us are reading this book, and then we are contributing. And I'm looking forward to a time when we just be having you guys just join and give your take on it, your review, and I wouldn't even have to say anything. So that's it. The first chapter is talking about the man who desired gold. That's the title of the first chapter. Honestly, my book is just tearing into pieces. It's been so old, but I really need to fix it together. But before we even talk about the first chapter, there was something in the foreword that I read that was really very interesting. And it said, our prosperity as a nation depends upon the personal financial prosperity of each of us as individuals. Okay, Zoba, if you look at my pinned, what do you call it now? Message. I did a message. I did a message, and I pinned it. So that's where you get to click on. It's right there. Just check the pin message. I think it's either at the bottom or at the top or at the bottom. Yeah. And I will just take a bit of this and then probably put a fresh link if you're not still seeing that. So, and this for me, this was such instructive. And that's one of the things that people don't understand, especially you look at a place like our country, Nigeria, where some people just feel that, oh, they are the only ones that want to be rich. They are the only ones that want to be financially independent. And every other person should be oppressed, should have nothing, and should just be depending on them. We cannot grow wealth. We cannot be a wealth of a nation of wealth if all we do is to be doing giveaways to people, be giving them peanut. No, we must help people be able to build wealth. And so that's the way that the country will also be, a wealthy country. If there are a lot of poor people in the country, no matter how rich a few are, that country can never be a wealthy country. But the more everybody is rich, has money, the more the country can be a country of wealth. And then it also talks about, it deals with personal success, how individuals can be successful. And the thing is that when individuals are successful, it also means the community will be successful, the society will be successful, the state will be successful, and also the country, the nation will also be successful. But one of the things you have to understand is that you cannot get success if there's no proper preparation. You can't just be saying, oh, I'm just sitting down, I'm just praying to God, success will come. No, you have to put in the preparation. God is a just God. He's not going to give you something that you have not worked for, that you have not prepared for. One way or the other, you also have to put in the work. So this book looks at lean pause, and for those who don't have much in their account, for those who don't have much money, for those who don't have much investment, much assets, much wealth, this is the book for you. And for those who want to understand how to multiply their wealth, the monies that they have, increase their assets, this is also a book for you. If we look at the book, it starts chapter 1. Please try and get a hold of the book and read the book. So it's better when we are doing review. A review ordinarily is that you've read the book and then we come and review it. It's not that, oh, I'm going to come here and just learn from here on the book review. So that's basically what review. Zoba, I will be joining. Okay, you came on and you just left. I was going to say that I'll be bringing you on in a moment. But what you just did now, Zoba, that's the way to come on. You just clicked on it. All I was supposed to do was to add you, and then it went off before I could do that. And so the chapter 1 is talking about someone who just sat down and he was thinking about his life. And so for me, that's the most important thing about that chapter 1, that someone says, okay, wait a minute, it's not about hard work. People think it's hard work that makes them wealthy. If it's hard work that makes you wealthy, I mean, the people who are doing manual jobs will be the richest people in the world, but it's also smart work. You have to sit down, you have to reflect, you have to think, do all of those things for you to be able to get there. Let me just bring in Zoba. Let's hear from her a bit before I go on and continue. Hello, good evening.
Okay, good evening, madam.
Good evening. How are you? It's a
Hey.
pleasure having you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Zoba. Okay, this is my first time of doing this, and I'm excited.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
Okay, sorry for interrupting you. I don't
No,
have any
no, go
question. I
ahead.
just wanted
Yeah.
to. I
Okay.
don't have any question. I just practice what
Wanted
you
to see
asked me
how
to
to come
do.
on. Okay, fantastic. So
Yes,
please
I'm
get the
happy to see
book.
myself.
Okay, please get the
Yeah,
book. There
I'll
are
get the
online
ebook.
versions.
I'll start listening. Hmm?
Fantastic. I said there are online versions, there are PDFs. I've seen people talk about it. So just get the book. So we review every chapter every Sundays on Sundays. So as we go on.
Okay, I'll get ready for next Sunday. Meanwhile, I'll listen today.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am. Thank you for the good
okay.
work.
Thank you. Thank you for always being here. So yep. So I'm going to remove you now just to so that I'll continue. Yeah. So you got it now.
Okay.
That's the way to
Yes,
go.
ma'am.
Well
Thank
done,
you.
Zoba. Thank you. So yes, so we can just, so that I want this to be as interactive as possible. Please, if you don't have the book, get the book. Let's read. Next time, probably you all will do the review, and I probably won't have to say anything. So this is someone who is Bansir is a chariot builder, and then one day he was building his chariot. He just got tired, and he just sat down and he was reflecting, thinking about his life, that he's working so hard, but yet he barely is able to feed his family. He's barely able to take care of his family, and it was so frustrating for him. And he's one who is building. He sees wealth a lot because Babylon. This whole book is put in the setting of Babylon. And Babylon is a place where you have people who were very, very rich. And then there were people who were very, very poor. And so there was so much frustration that he was going to. And he built chariots for very wealthy people. Yet there he was, he didn't have anything. And while he was sitting down there, of course, his wife, his house wasn't far from his workshop. His wife was coming out to check on him, and she was like, she was just watching him sitting down, and there was not much food in the house. And she was wondering, what are you doing sitting down? You need to be working so that we'll be able to have food to eat. But he just refused to even look at her face, and he was so tired. He was just so moody and angry and just sitting down there. And while he was there sitting there, his friend, his best friend, Kobe, who was a musician, came in and saw him sitting. And the best friend started hailing him that, it seems as if you have so much money now. Please come and borrow me some money since you are sitting down and not doing anything. Like you are just sitting there like a big boy and all of that. And so the Bansi looked at him. I was like, even if I had that, he asked for 2 shekel. That's what they call their money. And it was like, even if I have more that money, I won't give it to you because like even as my best friend, I can't give you everything. And so, Kobe was like, okay, if you don't have money, why are you sitting there when there's work in front of you? Why are you not working? Why are you not going on to do your work? And that's when he said to him, look, I'm just tired. Apparently, the night before, Bansi had a dream where he was a big man in the dream. He had a lot of money. He could spend money on whatever it was he desired. He didn't have to be, trying to cut corners and not have anything to say. And then he woke up to his reality of really not having money. And so that's what set him, made him moody and just had him thinking. So this is the thing. First of all, in this life, anything your mind cannot envision, anything your mind cannot see, there's no way you're going to achieve it. So achieving something starts from your mindset, starts from your mind, starts from your thinking, starts from your goals, starts from your dreams. So he had a physical dream, not the one that he was just thinking about it. And so this dream set him on a path that was so different from what he had ever seen. And he was like, oh my goodness. Anyway, for those of you who are joining now, we are reviewing the book, The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. I'm always forgetting the way the book goes. And so that's what we are reviewing now. I will be doing that every Sunday, 9 p.m. Nigerian time or West African time. Nigerian time is GMT +1. So you could also get that book and join us every Sunday. By the way, also every day, 9 p.m., we do financial literacy where we are sort of like talking about financial literacy, how to do business and all of that. And so like I was saying, it has to start with a dream. You have to see it in your mind. You have to be able to envision it for you to now be able to work on getting that thing that you want to aim at. And Kobe and Bansir had been friends, for since they were children, and they've grown up together. And from the at times where they had a little bit of enough and they've gone through life, now they are married, they also have children and all of that. One of the things that I think I would just mention here is that we must understand that sometimes there are certain works or certain things that can give us money that we, especially when we are young, in our youthful age, that will be more than enough. But when we get married and begin to have responsibilities, these things are not enough. And sometimes there are a lot of people who have derailed because of that. So instead of going through the hard work, maybe a longer route that at the end of the day will be able to give money, some people want quick fixes, quick way to wealth. And so they'll just start something that is bringing in some quick cash. And they'll be like, oh, okay, this is enough. And I'm going to give you an example. When we finished secondary school where I grew up on, we had someone who was slightly older than us. And so he had finished secondary school earlier. And immediately he started working in a bank, the Funk Bank of the North. So when he was working in a bank, he was earning money. He was getting money. Somebody said, Ahmed Momodu, please go to Mecca and pray for Nigeria. Well, God answers prayers from everywhere, and we are talking about the richest man in Babylon. Welcome and thank you for joining us. And so He was earning money as a banker with his secondary school and all of that, and he wasn't interested in going to school. I remember he used to mock us, we that were now students. Is that, oh, we never had money, he had money, he was already working. But you see, sometimes that's the fallacy. Some people just get sucked into this thing where they think, oh, they are not making money, the money is enough. But over time, you understand, over time, what they do not understand is that that money is not sustainable. Yes, Ziggy's TV, this is live, and welcome to the book review that we're doing. We do this 9 p.m. every day, but on Sundays we do a book review, and currently we are reviewing the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. And so he didn't realize that. So he felt, oh, now he's making money. He didn't need to go to school and all of that. And he'll be laughing at us and mocking the rest of us that were in school who didn't have money. But on the long run, we finished universities. We got our first degrees. Some of us got our second and third. Others got their third degrees. And we're now doing well. And he only still had secondary school. And it got to a time when banks retrenched, all of those people that had only secondary school, and he had ended up now struggling. So sometimes, please, you might have money. You might have money that you think, oh, it's okay for you because you are a young person, you can get that car, you can do this. But overall, when you now begin to have more responsibilities, you find out that money is not it. And also, there was something that was very instructive that Bansi talked about in the first book, where he was complaining to his friend. He said, look at our sons. At that time, of course, it was sons that they thought of making money instead of looking at the children. He said, look at our sons, that they also are growing up in this poverty and they don't have anything. And sometimes that is also always the problem of generational poverty. You keep handing it over. You've not been able to build wealth. You've not been able to teach, your children how to build wealth. And then it just keeps going like that. People where people don't have anything. So it's very important at this whole chapter where they were talking about this, it was very instructive. Okay, MCBTV, oh, that's very lovely. I mean, we'll be reviewing that every Sunday, 9 p.m. Nigerian time. And so we are currently starting on chapter 1. Please get that book again, reread it. Let's all review the chapters as we go on. And the thing about The Richest Man in Babylon is the fact that it is a book that expects you to practice what you read. It's not something that you just go on and read it and forget about it. It's something that you read it and then you also practice it and put it to use. And so he was talking about the fact that also their children, the way they were going at this rate, that they also didn't have anything, and it was looking as if they were not going to have anything. That if they continue in this manner, this is what is going to happen. Their children are also going to continue the same. And then in chapter 1 also, there was also something that Bansi talked about, which was, that he has been working hard and he was waiting for God to reward his worldly deeds and make him rich. And this is something a lot of people sit down and do, and they just like, they are just praying to God to make them rich. They are just praying to God to make them wealthy. No, God is a just God, and God wants you to put in the work. You're not going to do nothing and then you just get rewarded like that. You need to put in the work that we ensure that you also get that reward. So learn about the work, go for it, and you put in the work, and then you watch and see the way that God is going to, God is going to bless you, but not just for people to say, oh, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to sit down and then, we will get it. God will not do for us what he has given us the capacity for us to do for ourselves. The capacity to learn about money, the capacity to know about money, the capacity to be disciplined, the capacity to allow your money work for you. These are all things that God has given to us. So you can't just sit down and refuse to do anything and expect that it's just going to go through that. So So the other thing you're still, as they were sitting down and talking, they also saw, a line of slaves. There were slaves in Babylon at that time, where this whole thing is set up in. They had a lot of slaves that were working and everything, and they looked at these people and said, oh, and they were like, oh, okay, see the way they are. This one, they don't have a right. But what I got from that is that at every point in your life, there's someone you're better than. So, like, I think it was the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that said we should always look at those below us and those above us. So don't always base your life as if, oh, everything is hopeless, this is that. Whatever situation you are in life, you're definitely better than someone, and of course, someone else is also better than you. So don't just give up hope just like that. So, like I talked earlier, Bansi, had to have a dream before he was able to see the things that he's saying. But we must also understand that Bansi and his friends are not lazy, and they do admit money has passed through their pockets, but it hasn't stayed on. Bansi was dismayed at the prospect of passing this on to his sons, who will be following his footsteps. But then Kobe asked a very salient question. He said, might we not find out how to acquire gold? So you see, this is really the main thing. Knowledge. Many people don't want to knowledge. If, for example, if I say right now we're currently 121 people right here, right? If I was to say, oh, I'm doing giveaways, I bet you we could probably have 1,000 people. That's what people are. A lot of people just want those giveaways. They don't want the knowledge. Because even on Twitter, I see people, oh, you don't do giveaways. I say, no, I don't do giveaways, but I'll teach you what wealth is. I'll teach you what financial literacy is. I will teach you how to turn that your one kobo into one naira, because that's what has worked for me. I've never had the opportunity to have maybe very rich parents or very rich uncle or someone with connection or get a big contract. I've never done that. What I've done has always been the market, the businesses I've done, and the little profit I make for it, and saving those profits and making those profits work. And so I'm going to share that knowledge with you. But most times people, are not quick to look at that and say, let's get this information. Life is always about opportunity and then information you have and how you make use of that information that goes on. So here, Kobe asked him, might we not go and find out how to acquire gold? And he said, maybe there's a secret somewhere. Maybe there's a secret that people are sharing that we don't know. And then they talked about their old friend, Arcad. Arcad was very wealthy. He was one of the wealthiest people in Babylon, and they all grew up together. And it's not as if Arcad was someone who was sort of like very intelligent or had some special thing to him. He was also struggling like they were struggling. Then at one time, he started making this money little by little by little. And so they were like, okay, let them go and meet Arcad and ask him what is the wealth, what is the words that it's there? How can they also make this money? How can they be able to get something? What can they learn about this secret that they also can apply and be able to have money? And so they decided, that they were going to meet their Arcad. And then one of the things, I think it was Kobe that said that, he said, because Bansi, I can't remember which of the friends now, said, oh, okay, Arcad has a lot of money. And then he was like, oh, yeah, but it's not just about him having a lot of money, but that he has income that constantly keeps his purse filled. So if you understand what that means, that's passive income. In the last few days, we've been talking about passive income. When we talked about financial independence, we talked about passive income, and we say passive income is the income that you no longer have to work for you to earn it. You've already worked for it. You've already put it in place. So, and then the money just keeps coming. For example, like if you build a house and you put in tenants, rental properties, the rent that they will be paying, that's now, passive income. That Arcad had this, passive income that keeps coming. He has income that constantly fills his purse. So both Kobe and his friend Bansil understand the fact that they've never sought for money, and they never tried to understand what money was all about. So right now that they were going to ask their friend about money. And for me, another thing also that I find very, very instructive and interesting in this chapter one is that when they decided they were going to meet Arka to go and ask him, that's two of them, both Bansir and Kobe, decided they were going to meet Arcad and ask him to teach them about money. They also said they were going to call all their other friends. So which is fantastic. Nowadays, now what we have is that when people have a source of income, or they have a way they can learn how to make money, they don't want anybody to know. Even when people are asking them, they are shying away from it. I always say that is a scarcity mentality. This word is a word of abundance. There is enough for everybody. Like when I see people and they're like, oh, we want to have as much money as you. I say, no, I want you to have more money than me. The fact that you have more money than me, it doesn't reduce of my money. My money is not going to reduce to go to you. There's unlimited abundance in the world. There's enough for everybody to go out there and look for it. And for me, if you have more money than me, that's cool with me. I'm like, oh, that's someone I used to teach about. I used to teach financial literacy, and he has done so well now. And if I teach you financial literacy and you don't end up having more money than me, if I share my experiences with me on financial literacy or financial independence or doing business, and you don't end up being better than me, I will feel that I didn't teach you real well, because you're supposed to take off my experience, add your own experience, and be better. So in this chapter, you can see the fact that they were thinking about their friends and say, hey, let's call everybody together. Let's go and meet Arcad, and let's go and learn, about money. So I'm going to come back now and say that and go on with the conversation and see what the questions are. And so please go ahead. Zegis TV said, Ma, please, how can we apply these ideas from the book to our real life situation, most especially in Nigeria? We have brilliant ideas, but the little income goes to food. We even struggle to pay to pay bills. So as we go on in the book, and I will tell you one of the things here, one of the very instructive things that he did talk about, and that was pay yourself first. So Ziki TV, no matter how much you are earning, whether it is 10,000, whether it is 1 million naira, the moment you get that salary, the moment you get that income, the moment you get any money that comes into your hand, pay yourself first before you pay any other person. Even if it's not enough to pay every other person, explain to them or reduce for that particular period of time, reduce your expenses, and then there was a time we've talked about, essential expenses and those ones that are not essential. Anytime you want to buy something, ask yourself, is it a need or is it a want? If it is a need, go for it. Those are things that you must have. If it's a want, it's not things that you must have, but that you just desire. So you live off that. So the thing that you need to do is that you pay yourself first. And it must be at least 10% of what you earn. So if your salary is 30,000 naira, let's use the minimum wage. Your salary is 30,000 naira. You must pay yourself 10%. 10% of 30,000 naira, I think that's 300, right? If I'm not, is that 300? No. 10% is 3,000. Yeah. 10% of 30,000 is 3,000. So you must pay yourself that 3,000, put it aside. Just assume that your salary is 27,000. Are you going to beat somebody else if your salary is 27,000? So just assume on that and just take that on. And you pay yourself first. And you don't touch this money. When you pay yourself first, you keep it in an account. This is supposed to go on for savings. After savings, then investment. Not that you keep it after a while, you now just start eating it. In 10 months, you will have that salary. So pay yourself at least 10%. That's the minimum. There are people who can pay themselves 20%, 30, even 50, 60, 70%, especially when you are younger, your bills are not many, and you're earning good salary, you can put that. And so that's why I tell people it's easier to start building your financial, working towards your financial independence in your 20s. As soon as you get job, keep saving. It's not the time to be changing cars every day. It's not the time to be traveling abroad all the time. It's not the time to be changing your phone. It's time to be saving, 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 buying up in assets, picking up assets. And the easiest way to know difference between assets and liability is that assets will put money in your pocket, liability will take money away from your pocket. Shikena, that land, buy that land, buy that house if you have enough money. You don't have enough money, buy that land, leave it there, buy those shares, buy things that are going to give you income, bring money and put it in your pocket, or they're going to appreciate, over time. So that's the way you begin to build it. As you go on, at the end of 10 months, you have 1 month salary, you can invest it in something, you can buy something with it that is an investment, and then you keep doing that. As you go on, you begin to have that wealth that you will have. Yeah, prime leverage says savings, buy assets, MCB TV channel, Karo Babalola, also you earn money while you sleep. Absolutely, that's what passive income does to you. When we did, if you can also check the live that we did on when we talked about financial independence, all the things are also explained there. You can, if you check my videos where those old lives are, you can always look into that. But as we also read this book, as we also review this book, read this book. It will tell you exactly how you will go about it. That's just the beautiful thing about this book. It's very simple and it explains to you how you're going to get it. Even the Arad that was then the richest man in Babylon, it was these principles he was taught that he applied, that he was able to now, have those riches along the way. Prime leverage. I think you're talking about somebody called Ahmed Momodu. He's just a distraction. Just forget about him. People think that religion is something that you profess. No, religion is something that you show. Your behavior, your actions is what matters. And so, for me, I'm not even really focused on that. And if you think that, hey, we use insult as food, and there's nothing to eat. He shows who he is. Martin's says gold is the capital and silver is the dividend. The gold keeps you assured of the future and the silver handles the everyday needs. So, like, having what you use for investment, as the gold, you use that for investment, and silver, you use that to take care of your everyday needs. One of the things that mistake that people make is that the moment they get their money, they increase their lifestyle. And I'm going to quickly share with you something that I always tell people, especially people who are working. I say, look, if your salary is increased, you're sitting down and then, oh, you've gotten a pay rise, your salary has been increased. Don't increase your lifestyle. Maintain that lifestyle that you've been doing, and then take everything of that, that increase that you had, and just be pumping it into investment. Just be pumping it. For me personally, one of the things that have worked for me is actually real estate. I buy lands, I build houses, do properties, and put in tenants. I built my first house in the year 2007, and it was a 2 bedrooms, 10 units of two bedroom. That's 10 people, rented the 10 apartments, and they started living there, and I started collecting money. And it's that's how you build your wealth. Just build this thing, just buy. Even if you can't build house, some people say that, oh, I don't have money to build house. And no wahala, just keep buying land and acquiring those lands. Thank you so much, Carol. Love you too. Dad, yes, at every time it's all for us to think about how do we help ourselves? How do we, the, riches is not just when only you have, when everybody has. That's what rich wealth is all about. For me, I always say to people, I don't want to help people. I want people to not need my help. But there are a lot of people with this messiah mentality. They want to be the one, oh, I'm doing giveaway, I'm giving everybody 2,000, and people are happy. And no, that's not it. For how long are we going to have people, keep begging? We cannot beg our way out of the problem, out of the poverty we have in our country. But we must learn and go on and put what we have, share the knowledge that we have for everyone to be able to get to where they're supposed to be. I'm just trying to read the comments and see what we, yeah, learn to catch fish, not how to receive. Absolutely, Aliu Seidu. Uh, I actually taught from the book last week on the 5 laws of good. Fantastic. That's, oh, Carol, I'm just saying this. Yes, that's absolutely amazing. And we're going to get in there. Please, as much as possible, you can join. You can join the conversation. We can hear from you. Just click on the link, the pinned link that I have in there, and then we'll hear your voice. If you've read the book before, if there's something that you want to tell us as we go on, let's have it. Do we review chapters per Sundays? I'm currently devoted to my 1 year of savings. Oh my goodness, this is so interesting. Yes, that's what we're doing. We're just starting today. So every Sunday, we're going to pick a chapter. Today, it's all about chapter 1, and we've just done the chapter. We've seen where Bansil was just after his dream. He was thinking on, his stage where there's no money. His friend came in, and they decided that they were going to meet Arad to teach them, the secret to wealth and how to go about it. And of course, by next week, Sunday, God willing, we are going to see the richest man in Babylon, and that's Arad himself. And then we'll start that story there, and we go on to where they talk about the 7 cures for a lean Paul. So there are quite a number of things. So I'm really happy that you're reading that and you're currently devoted to your 1 year of savings like Arad did before Al-Gamish. And of course, don't blow it up, don't eat it and begin to buy fancy things. It's actually supposed to be for investment. And so, like I was just talking to Ziggy's TV. So you see, that's it. That's the lovely thing about this book. It just teaches you as you go on, a practical book that can be used in building oneself. Yeah, like Ali Seidu just said. Thank you so much, Ziggy's TV. So yes, this is live. We do this every day. We're currently on Let's Do Business, talking about business and all of that. But on Sundays, actually, we do a book review, and we're starting with this book review. I'm still working on Saturdays to be able to bring in guests. We're going to bring in people who are facilitators, people who have built wealth, who are doing business in different areas, to be able to bring them in here for us all to learn from there. It's also something that I'm looking at, and I'm going to put that in for us to pull in people. Sometimes when people think about problems, oh, the country is so bad, the country is so this, one of the things is that in the midst of a lot of problems are also opportunities. So in solving some of the problems, you also can be able to start a business from there where you're solving people's needs and also, solving your own need of getting money from there. Yeah, God help those who help themselves. Okay. Thank you so much, Nicholas Rodriguez. That's great. So I'm just trying to see here whether there are comments that I've missed. But so please go ahead, put in your own comments. Tommy Allison, thank you. I love you too. Thank you so much for being part of this. And so, but we can pay ourselves more if you absolutely. I tell you, there are people who 10% of their salary is all they need to be able to live on. Yes. And so I always say, so depending on what you're this thing as, what you need to do a budget. And when you're doing a budget, I think we have done, did we do a class on budgeting? I think we did. Yeah, we did, where we talked about what are your expenses? Essential expenses, discretionary expenses. The essential expenses are your needs, discretionary expenses are your wants, and then you also have savings. So you can do 60, 40, 40, or 50, 20, 30, or whatever it is, or the least, of course, is to make that savings 10. So for example, there are people there's a young man out there who is earning ₦1 million every month. And honestly, they really don't need ₦1 million every month. This young person probably has no wife, has no children, has no siblings that they are taking care of, sending to school. And yeah, you can send a little bit to your parents, which is okay. They can actually save a lot. They can maybe be living on 200K or 300K, and the remaining 700K, put it put it into investment. Save them, invest, buy houses, buy buildings. There are people in your 20s, begin to buy lands, properties as much as you can in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, and go on. You can put up your mind and say, oh, you want to be financially independent before 40, and you know you actually work towards that. There are people who earn little, maybe they earn 50,000, 60,000, 100,000. Yeah, it's not that much, but at the same time, you also have to save from it. So those are the kind of people that we say at least save 10%. 10% is okay. And then if you feel that, oh, the money you have, the remaining 90% is not enough, just mentally tell yourself that your salary has been reduced. Are you going to beat anybody? You won't come and beat me if your employer is to reduce your salary now. So live on that way and go on. And most times you can reduce things. So that's why we say when you want to buy something, ask yourself, is it a need or is it a want? You want to buy a new shirt, Oga, is it that you don't have shirts? Or you want to buy a new bag? All the bags in your house, have you finished using them? Some of you can stay for the next 3 years without buying a piece of clothing, and you will not be haggard or tattered. If what I'm saying is true, please let me put something in the case. Say yes. That some of you, you can. Abubakar, well done. Happy Salah to you too. You can stay for the next 3 to 5 years, even if you don't buy a piece of clothing, you don't buy bag, you don't buy shoe, you don't buy shirt, you don't buy trouser, you don't buy skirt, you will not look haggard. You will still look prim and proper. Okay, thank you, Ziggy TV. You said yes. Nelson, thank you. You said yes. So why are you still buying those things? Carol has also said it. So these are wants. This is where we waste our money. People think money doesn't come through their hand. If you were supposed to keep a jotter, okay, we are in June now, right? We are about to end June. So let's say the first half of the year is gone. From July, start writing every kobo that enters your account. Get a book, every kobo, if it's salary, if it's gift, if it's money from some side hustle you did, money from some business you did, whatever it is, somebody has been owing you for the last 3 years, they decided to pay you, get a book, write it down. Just this half, then at the end of 2024, December 31st, 2024, calculate everything. You will be shocked how much has come through your hand. Money passes through our hand, but because we don't have plans for the money. And so when you don't have plans for your money, other people will have plans for your money, and your money will have plans for itself. That's why you'll be buying things anyhow without knowing. Oh, they brought handbags to your office. Oh my goodness, they are so beautiful. Let me pick this color. Madam, is it that you don't have handbag at all? What do you need there? Oh, they are going to pay 3 times. No, don't pay at once. Pay 3 times. But you will still pay. And see what is happening. The money you have not earned, you're already spending it. Is that not foolishness of the highest order? So you are not the one working for money. Meanwhile, the richest man in Babylon, the book is saying your money should work for you. You should save that money and put it to work. It is when it has worked, and brought in plenty dividends, other children, other money, that's when you spend out of it. So for you, they'll bring shirts to the oh my goodness, this shirt, they look dope, I'm buying it. Oga, you no get shirt for house. So you see, for you, those shirts, those handbags, those things they are not needs, they are wants. Don't buy them. If you have children, school fees are needs. If your house rent is a need, the basic petrol you buy in your car is a need. You repairing your car is a need. Anything other than that, it's other than those. If somebody is sick, yeah, we don't pray for sickness, but it does happen. Those are needs. Other than that, every other thing is a want. Oh, you want to buy a handbag, you want to buy shoe, you want to take that trip. Do you have the capacity to take that trip? Why are you saving a whole year's salary to take a trip abroad? That means you never reach to take trip. Calm down. If you are not just waking up to say, oh, I want to take a trip, and then you just write a check and you get it, then that money you have saved, go and invest it so that it will bring more money. When it starts bringing plenty money, then you can take from that money and go on your trip abroad. Who are you trying to impress? I've seen people who they don't have money to pay school fees. but they will save money, they will gather money and go abroad with their children, just so that when they come back, their children will be able to say they too they went abroad. Is your child in competition with anybody? If you're having to save for 1 year to go on a trip abroad, sorry, no be your mates dey go abroad. Calm down, save that money, invest that money, let that money bring in more money. Then when you are buoyant enough, the money will just be coming yafu yafu every month or every this thing as it goes. Me, I fit sit down for Twitter. That's why I tell people, I tell when some people will sit down and be insulting me, like the guy, what's his name, whether it's a Momodo or whatever he calls himself, I was just insulting me now. I always say to them, why you are insulting me? Ensuring that they are making money for you. I have warehouses that people are working. I don't stay in my warehouse. I have workers. I'm an entrepreneur with a system in place. Money is coming in. I have tenants that pay that pay rent. I will be sitting down, my agent, they will send money. Day before yesterday, I think I was sitting there, I saw a lot. I was like, which one is it? Tenants, money from tenants. I had someone who used to insult me on Twitter. It turned out that he was one of my tenants in Abuja. Wetin concern me? The guy dey pay me over 1 million naira rent for a 2 bedroom. That's what is important to me. I will tell Atuale, you are my sir. You are my boss. You dey pay rent. If you like, insult me from now to tomorrow. But don't just sit down and say, it didn't start just like that. I had to tighten my belt when my mates were carrying GSM up and down. No, me, I was using my own for investment and business. So these are the things. So you work on them till you get to that place and not just spend money anyhow. Blessing says, so true. I once followed the principles of this book and I had my boom, but I invested and it all crashed. So I was discouraged. I'm on my second journey and I intend to see to the end when we do the book review. In one of the courses, in one of the things that we did, discussions we had was the 5 financial IQ by Robert Kiyosaki. And part of those 5 financial IQ of Robert Kiyosaki is that you must protect your money. You must have information, information on how to make money, which is like what we are doing now. You must make your money should earn more money from you. You must protect your money. You must leverage on your money. You must protect your money. Don't be in a hurry to make profit. That's the thing that gets people carried away. Oh, they see the investment. Oh, this investment, you're going to make this money. No. Please, no. If it's too good to be true, it is actually too good to be true. Any business they are telling you are going to put your money, you will double it, you will triple it, run. That's where a lot of people end up losing their money, because most of those things, it's not working. Money is not magic. It's work you put into it. There are principles behind it, and little by little it grows. So be very careful. Also, for example, like me in property, and I always say to people, when you're investing in property, be very careful. There's a lot of fraud in there. Make sure you're checking the land. You go to your state land registry, whatever. I invest in Abuja and Kaduna, and they have places you go to in Abuja. It's called Ages. You can go and check whether this land is genuine, who owns it, how is it, and check everything. And also be able to see, hope it's not the land that they've changed the use. It's supposed to be, they will not go and change a motor park to use to land use or something like that, or you build it on a pipeline or a waterway or any of these things. Okay, Rosemary is saying she cannot hear me. I don't know. Is anybody having that problem of you not hearing me, or is it only Rosemary or Okafor? Please, if you can hear me, just indicate that yes, you can hear me. I can hear you, so that I know that it's not, but there's nothing from my network. Okay, Martin's is saying she can't hear me. The line, I can hear you now. Okay, thank you. So maybe there was a bit of a glitch and I didn't notice that. But okay, fantastic. Zoba says you can hear me. So fantastic. So please always check the lands. The papers are complete. If the land is too cheap, be very wary. Don't be in anything that they say, oh, you are going to make so much profit. No, be anxious, be suspicious. Let suspicion be the number one thing in your head when you are investing in anything. Anything like MMN, oh, you put 1 naira, you put 100,000, they will give you 200,000. Are you okay? Are you stealing? Is it gone? They are going to put it. Somebody said, I'm a businesswoman. Where are you making that kind of profit? except you are selling drugs, or you are robbing people, or you are carrying oil, crude oil, and stealing crude oil and selling. Where are you going to be making that kind of money? So please, like Prime Leverage said, any business that sounds like MMM, run far away from it. Innocent Raphael, good evening and welcome. Okay. Blessing say, yeah. So please, if there's anything there has been, you lost your money or this thing, you feel failure is part of life. One of the things that I constantly have taught my children is that they should embrace failure, they should accept failure, and they should learn from it. The real tragedy of failure is not the failing that you did, it's refusal to learn from it or refusal to continue. Well, failing, they say, it's not falling down. Failing is staying there. You don't drown by being in water. You drown by staying there. And so, if there's anything, just keep on going. This time, you just focus and say, no way are you going to just allow things just get out of the way. Patty Taco said, you're so right. I wash and braid my own hair at home, even though I can afford to do it so as to save that. Absolutely. And the thing also is that you save that money, you invest that money in an asset. Don't just save it and just eat it. Don't say, okay, I'm going to save money by not going to salon, and then you go and just buy suya or buy drinks or just blow it away. No, put it also to work. And so there are so many things that we can do to save money. For me, I always say one of the principles that I have is that if I'm not gonna buy something effortlessly, I don't buy it. I'll just say I never reach to do am. That's one thing. Yes, even if I can do it, maybe, but I will strain myself a little bit, or put myself out a little bit, or one thing or the other. I stay away from it. So I want something that I can just effortlessly do. Like this afternoon, I was talking to my daughter and I said, oh, one time I went to buy something, and then I bought a traveling bag and other things. So as I was coming out of the shop, the security stopped me and they were like, oh, that there's supposed to be a sticker that they will put on the back to indicate it has been paid for, and they hadn't put it. I was like, okay, what do you want us to do? Do you want to go and ask them whatever? He wanted the receipt. I was trying to find the receipt. I had a lot of receipts in my pocket. Sometimes when you're looking for something, that's when the one you're looking for will disappear. You won't see it. And I was just like, oh, okay. But I told them, I was like, oh, you go and ask them. I'm not going to go back to the cashier because I know. And he asked me, okay, how much did you buy the bag? I was like, I don't know. And honestly, I didn't know because I didn't even check the price. I just saw the bag. I liked it. And I carried it to where I was going. And the other things that I picked, I didn't check any of their prices. And it was like looking for me, yeah, because it's something that I know I can afford. So I didn't bother. And I know my card had enough money to take care of that thing, no matter what the price is. But I can tell you there are certain shops that I'm not going to enter and buy something without checking the price. No way. I'm not going to enter one of these. It was Primark for those of you in UK. It's a place where you buy cheap things. So that one I know I can just buy this. I won't enter a Louis Vuitton shop and say that I'm not looking at the price. That's where I even start from. It's the price I start from, because I know almost that place is not something that I can just buy like that. And then if I'm going to be saving money to buy it, I won't buy it. And for me, honestly, people buy those things, they see them as assets. I don't see them as assets. I just feel somebody just put their name on something and that makes it so expensive. So I'm buying a bag for 10,000 pounds just because somebody put their name on it and called it Louis Vuitton, or somebody put their name on it and called it Birkin. So that's why I'm buying 10,000 pounds. I can tell you honestly, I think the highest bag I've bought is like maybe 50 pounds, or is it 60? I can't even remember. That's, for me, bag is bag. I'm not focused on those things. But so, hey, for me, I always say, people, if you're not just going to take out the money from your pocket and just buy it, then don't do it. You never reach. Focus on buying assets. Focus on buying things that will bring you more money rather than buying things that are not going to bring you, more money. Ziggy said, if you don't have plans for your money, other people will have plans for you. Absolutely. And even your money will have plans for itself. I always tell people, that's why you'll be sitting there the next day, they'll be telling you that your grand uncle has died and they need money for burial, that money you've been keeping there because you don't have plan for it. And I always say to people, please, please, please ensure you always have a project. Ensure you're always doing something. You're either buying a land or you're building houses or you're buying one asset or the other. Ensure, don't leave yourself like that. When you have projects, you find out that all the money you are spending anyhow, you won't be spending it. It's going towards that project. And when people come to you, they're looking for money. There's no money in your hand, and there's actually no money in your hand. I mean, you can come to me and there's no money. It's been put elsewhere. For me, I always make my money work for me. That's why I don't have money in my account. Like I see a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, they have, 10 million naira, 30 million naira, 100 million naira in their savings account or their current account or their fixed deposit. Me, for what now? That money should be working. I for don't use and buy land. Don't use and buy house or build a house, put people there. The money must be working. I can't have money lying down in the bank. And according to Warren Buffett, he said the worst kind of investment is cash. If you had 100 million naira in your account 3 years ago, what that 100 million naira could buy now, even with the interest they paid you can't buy it again. You will need about 300 million to buy it. That's the problem with inflation. You understand? That's the problem with inflation. 3 years ago, when was it 3 or 4 years ago? 3 years ago, I think, when I completed, there was a particular project that we completed, a house that we built, two bedroom. I think I'll have a picture of that house there. That house that we built, two bedroom, 6 units in Abuja. Now, the same amount of money that we used to complete and finish that house just took us, it didn't even take us to roofing this time. That's how bad, that's how bad the buildings and everything has been in Nigeria. And the other time I said to people, I said, look, if you have anybody that you gave money to build house for you, there's no how that person can complete it. If it's maybe last year you paid, because building material, some of them have tripled, some of them have quadrupled. And I say, for those who are building, better go and meet people and explain to them that you didn't eat their money. It's the economy that that ate their money. So if you look at this is a picture of that particular house. So this what we used to finish this house, everything. Right now, it cannot even roof. That's, you just build it to lintel. It cannot even roof because prices have gone. So imagine if the money that we used to build this house, we left it in the account to be getting money. That's nonsense. You will lose everything. So these are things that you must do. It's about knowing what these things are and just using those principles. Your money must constantly be working. Money is called currency for a reason. And let me just explain a little bit. In 1971, the United States took the dollar off gold standard. So before 1971, if you have $1, it was worth $1 of gold. If you have $10, it was worth $10 of gold. So in 1971, they took money off gold standard. So money just become that paper, and then the country that is backing it, just the belief that people have in that country. So if you keep this money and the money is not working, and it's not working, then you are losing value. So like before, if you have one gold, maybe $10 worth of gold, and you keep burying it, 10, 20 years from now, your people will go and find it. The money, it would have multiplied. But now, if you go and bury $10 down in 20 years and bring that paper out, what that dollar could buy 20 years ago, it won't be able to buy it now. Because so that's why it's called currency now. You understand? So currency, it has to keep moving for it to be keeping up with its value and making more money. So if you go and keep your money somewhere, you are saving it, you're actually losing money. Inflation will eat everything away. So you need to be buying assets, purchasing assets, making them work. Your money must definitely, work for you. Prime leverage, thank you so much for your kind words. If I bought anything, I have not bought anything from you, I need to say, absolutely, Rosemary or Okafor, that's a great way of doing it. You don't need to do this thing. Save, save, save. After saving, you have a substantial amount, invest. As you're saving, talk to people. For me, you can find other things that work. Some people buy shares. For me, the one that has worked for me is land, it's property. They say business makes you rich, real estate makes you wealthy. Even in my business, from time to time, I take the money out and I put it in real estate. I take the out of the profit. I make sure that my money is not in my business. My business, I run it on credit. I buy for companies. There are some companies that what I do is that I give them bank guarantee. And so bank guarantee also is a way of getting cheap money. So with bank guarantee is not like loan. So they are not charging you 30% interest. They probably will charge you 1 to 2%. Shouldn't be more than 2% interest for a bank guarantee. What it does is that the bank is not giving you money, but it is giving an assurance, a guarantee that in case the company that gives you credit, in case you are not able to pay, that they will pay the company. And so with that, the company will be giving you credit, knowing fully well that if you default, the bank will pay. But the bank also, they will get a collateral from you. So you are putting a property down or something. They will get a collateral from you. So in case you default, you are not able to pay, they can sell that collateral and be able to recover their money. So these are some of the ways. So for me, Charles, okay, thank you so much. Amen. Oh, God bless you. And so these are some of the ways that you use other people's money. So every of your money that is there, you put it in real estate, you invest. It's another business on itself. One of the mistakes that people make is that they always assume that if you have your own business, that's passive income. No, it's still active income because you have to be working. What now happens if your business goes down? I tell people, don't live your life using your active income to pay your expenses. Your passive income is what should be paying your expenses. You're paying your children's school fees with your salary only or with your profit from your business. What if your business goes down? You say, God forbid. The people that their business has got that you think they don't pray to God. What if you lose your job? What now happens to your expenses? What now happens to your children's school fees? What now happens to your rent that you pay? That's why you see a lot of people that are earning big salary. The moment they lose their jobs, 2 months after, you see them, they become very wretched. Some of them can't even afford to pay their house rent. They are begging because while they were working, they were never saving, they were never investing, they were never working towards passive income. So don't let that be your story. Don't let that be your way. Learn from other people. Experience is not the best teacher. Experience, they say, is the best teacher, but you don't have to experience it for you to learn from. You can learn from other people. When you see bad things happen to other people, take lessons for them. Don't feel that, oh, you cannot be more than that. I always say to people, we are all victims of everything waiting to happen, anything. So always learn from that. Say, this thing that has happened to this person, how do I mitigate it in my life so that it doesn't, also happen to me? Absolutely. Mentorship is absolutely very important. Ask questions, meet people. There are some people who are not willing to share. It doesn't matter. Just move on to the next person and get to also there are also people who are willing to teach and to mentor. And please, while you are here, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. I do share videos, 3 videos every day, 12 noon, 4 p.m. and also 8 p.m. And when you like it and you share, it also gives other people opportunity for them to be able to learn. Okay, Carol say, I want to join, but the link is not allowing me into the chat. Just click on the link. It will just bring you on. It will say I should add you. And that's what I will now do. I will now add you, to the conversation for you to come in. I think at this moment, yes, please, you guys, click on the link. Let's have you. Let me put let me put that link again, bring it on, so that you just click on the link, and then what it will just be that you'll be able to, let's hear from you, either those of you that have read it, what you've read of the chapter 1, or even if you've not read it, from what we've discussed so far, what are the things that you have learned or have taken from this. So I'm clicking it now. So there you go. I've put it again. So I think you should be able to click on it. So click on this one. So Fiona, so can you explain to me what Roblox means? I don't think I'm very familiar with that. I think I've heard that word once or twice, if I'm not mistaken, but I really don't know what it means. So if you could please explain that, that would really be helpful. Macarius Kari say, thanks immensely, Aisha. I wrote to you using the email provided in financial development. The mail came back. Please, can we get your email? My email, maybe you didn't spell my name the way, sometimes that Aisha, that Yesufu, some people don't spell it well. They spell it the normal way they spell Yusuf. Aisha Yesufu. I'm writing it again. Yep. So that's my email there. So if you can click on that, and then you'll now be able to comment. Prime leverage. He says business guru. I'm just there. But as I've grown older now, before our Lord have mercy, I could set goals, do this thing. But I've grown older now. I really don't get that fanciness, that how do I put it? That motivation to make money and all of that is just sort of like, maybe that's what happens at one age is anyway. JP Morgan say, if you have to ask how much, then you can't afford it. God help us. So absolutely. Martin's net, that is it. If you have to ask how much, then you can't. I'm going to be taking this quote. That's it. If you have to ask how much, you can't afford it, just gently stay away. And please don't try to be like the Joneses. You are not the Joneses. Be you. If it is 10 naira bag you can afford, just buy 10 naira bag. Don't go and be buying bag. People are buying bag, carrying back 30 million naira. You too, you want to go and carry back 30. If I buy back 30 million naira, I no go fit sleep. That sleep, no, 30 million that I would have used to buy land. No way. I remember in 2000 and I think it was 2007 or 2008. No, I think it was 2007. So we went to myself and my husband. We went to China. We went to Shanghai. We were going to do. That was when I was about to start my tomato business. I used to import tomato paste called Alim tomato paste. So we went to Shanghai. We went to Ningbo. We went to Wuxi. And so when we came back and then we're doing shopping, we went to this. I think it was a Gucci, whatever Gucci bag, a big Kiniko. I can't even remember what it was. As of that time, they were like, oh, it was 500,000, I mean 800,000. And I just look at my husband and say, what? I said, I'm not buying any bag 500,000. When I have a lot of people that are in school that I need to pay their school fees, I'll be spending money. I'm like, no way. I'm not going to buy that bag. Any bag way past £100, you're on your own. 50 pounds myself. I don't do try back. I'll enter Primark, carry correct bag, 20, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. I'll carry they go. If you don't know, if you like be checking the label and be checking whatever, that's your business. As far as I'm concerned, it has carried all the things that I need to carry in it. But of course, that's a very good one. If you have to ask how much, then you can't afford it. And please just stay with your lane. Don't be in a hurry. You might not be able to afford it now. It doesn't mean you will not be able to afford it tomorrow. And it's always better and easier to use your passive income to buy it rather than just say, it's just like business class. Anytime I want to enter business, I'm like, oh Lord have mercy. I'll just calculate the difference. I say, I beg you, let me just go to economy, Joe. Even my children, sometimes they were like, Mommy, you do this, or there's okay, do the economy clinical. I'm like, I beg you, by the time I'm thinking of times 3, times 4, let me just go and gently stay in my economy and mind my business and all of that. So my kids will be like, no, Mommy, this, that. But hey, I just say, why am I wasting that much? But as one gets older, now you have to now start thinking of, like the last flight I entered, no. When I was coming, it was so terrible. In my mind, I was like, this is it. I'm not going to do economy again. I'm going to be doing business. But I know the next time I'm seeing the prices, I'll tell myself, oh boy, nothing spoiled. I didn't person go manage economy after how many hours. And according to this person, she said your hair will still pop. So what's the big deal? Now the food. Anyway, yes, prime leverage. That Primark, no, Primark is my best place to shop. I don't like, even I remember when my kids from 2015, like that was when I stopped picking things for my children. They were the ones that we shop for themselves. All I do, I'll just go and sit there in one place, be on my phone. They will all go inside, they will choose what they want to choose. They will just go, oh, Mommy, they've done. I'll give them the card, they'll go and pay and we leave that place. So now they, but was it 2010? Let me just give you this side story. 2010. So we went to London with the kids, myself, my husband, and the kids. So we did holiday in London and we went to Harrods. Hey, we went there, we were going around, we were checking the prices. Things were stupendously expensive. We're just going with at one time, I didn't even know, myself and my husband, we just looked at ourselves. And the same time, we just said, what are we doing here? When we said it, both of us said it at the same time, we just started laughing. After that, I don't know, we respect ourselves, they go. We should be all these prices we did. That's how we carried ourselves out. We went out of the way. And it's always a good thing if, as a couple, you are able to, also help yourself stay disciplined and not the one that, one person is trying to save, another person is wasting money. It's easier to build wealth when you work together as a couple. It makes it a whole lot easier. So please don't try to impress anybody when it comes to financial journey. Don't try to do things that you really cannot afford. JT said, if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. I try to make it my metric. Oh, that's another great one. If you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. Absolutely. You just pick it. That's not like, hey, I finally buy this thing. Nah, absolutely. And I totally agree with that. Like for me, even with my travels, it's like when I always look at it, I'm like, I do travel a lot. I travel quite a bit. In short, in this month alone, I'm going to be traveling 3 times to 3 different places. I'm like, I'll be buying business class everywhere or paying the extra business class if the travels that are already paid with economy and all of that. Nah, I never reach. When I reach, I will do that. Until then, let me be enjoying myself where I am. And the thing is that it's not something that is more expensive that is going to make you feel so prime level Harrods 2010 I've never entered that place again since that time. Sometimes you see people, they will carry the Harrods bag. They will walk it and say, me, I know they enter. Nothing do me. I don't send anybody. It's like when my kids were much younger, I used to do bend down. Bend down. I was the queen of bend down. Class, whatever, great things. I used to buy them there. Sometimes when it's the only place I don't do this thing. It's school. My children's education. No. We didn't joke with it too. I didn't joke with that. So they've gone to the best schools both in Nigeria and the world. They've gone to schools that, yes, for me, that every other thing. When they were in primary nursery school, some parents are, oh, this shoe is so cute. Your children's bag are so deep. They're so cute. Where did you get them? When I tell them I bought it in Kasobechi, then we're living in Kaduna. It's this second hand. They will not be carrying their nose. I'm like, oh, what's it concern me now? And I sabi that one. But anyway, oh, Ziki's TV. I'm glad you're back. So sorry about so sorry about the network. So me, since then I've not been to Harrods. So I'm me for what now? I want something I can buy outside for 10 naira. I'm not going to be buying it there 1,000 naira. How does it make sense to me? Because you're going to give me Harrods bag and I'll put it there and be carrying in my hand that is Harrods. Nah, I ain't doing that. Anyway, so so Primark and some other rich people partner a lot if they are do it all. Absolutely. So I'm just trying to check whether there are some messages here and any other thing. If you have to ask how much, absolutely. So I think maybe we'll soon be rounding up. This is chapter 1. We've done The Richest Man in Babylon. This is my own book. I've had this book for over 20 years. It's extremely old. You can see how much it has aged. And there is Yesufu's library. I used to have a library in our house in Kaduna, and I used to stamp it. I love books. I bought books a lot. I used to buy story books. I remember in Dubai, one time in Dubai, and that's one thing, I can spend hundreds of thousands on books. There was a time there was this very big bookshop in Dubai. And one time the people asked me, they were asking that, do you have a school? I was like, no, I don't have a school, but it's for my kids. I buy these books for my kids. So my kids grew up reading. So we have library, stamped it, and they will come, they will borrow, just like they go to library and all of that. So this book is really, quite old. Rosemary Okafor, thank you so much. This life, there's really nothing in it. Just be yourself. And for me, I've never had any reason to want to impress others. I'm like, I even love it when people underestimate me or just see me anyhow, especially when you used to go to bank, in those days where we didn't have online banking, you will go to bank. Sometimes I'll be greeting a cashier, they won't even answer me. When people see you with hijab, they assume that you are not educated and all of that. That's how people used to look at. You greet the person, they will not answer until when they now check your account and they see you now see the person with raise up. Oh, good afternoon. I'm just looking at them, I'm just shaking my head. I know say no be meaning they greet now. I can't balance the greet. But anyway, it's always a good thing. Please, 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 let's make working towards financial independence as something that we do. Let's be very intentional about it. Give yourself some timeline, save, save, save. And one day we're going to talk about when you're protecting your money from yourself and also from your families, from your friends and loved ones. You see that borrow, borrow, borrow. People just come every time they're borrowing money from you. It also affects the rate at which we are able to, build wealth. And if you're going up and then this one, everybody is collecting money from you. Oh, I can't say no. You're constantly giving them. It's like you're trying to climb uphill and they are bringing you down. It's better, unless the most basic and the most serious needs, lift everybody, climb up. When you are able to climb up, you're financially independent. You cannot be putting your hand down and lifting other people to also financial independence. Not that the one you're trying to get to financial independence, the people at the bottom are pulling your leg down and you are coming down to meet all of them. Like they say, you cannot help the poor by being poor yourself. I said you cannot help the poor by being poor yourself. So you need to get to a place of, of wealth, of financial independence, and then you will now be able to help other people to get to that financial independence. Thank you so much, everyone. I would be rounding up now. It's usually between 1 and 2 hours that we do, and it's already 1:37. Hopefully, we meet again next Sunday for book review, The Richest Man in Babylon. If you don't have it, please go and get it. If you have it, read it. Next week, we will be reviewing, the second chapter. And the second chapter is about the richest man in Babylon himself, who is called Arad. Leo Chane says, hello, it's my pleasure. I would love to be a mentee. On which platform can that be possible? Well, it's already possible. That's part of the things that we're doing here and passing on that knowledge. So sometimes people think, oh, there has to be a particular place. But here, that's also what I'm doing here. I also have my email address there. That's also a place where we can you can send me an email, ask your questions, wherever it is. If I'm able to answer, I will really, give that answer out there. So we'll be having the richest man in Babylon every Sunday. But tomorrow, every day, 9 p.m. Nigerian time, we talk about financial literacy, financial independence, and also business. We are currently discussing business. We've done why you should do business, why you should not do business, kind of business to do, and also we've talked about when to do business. We'll go on. I also talk about how to raise money, for your business. So these are some of the things that we discuss. The email is the way I spell my name at aisha@gmail.com. That's aishayesufu@gmail.com. I think I've put it out there. If you scroll up to messages, you will see where I've written it down. But you can also look at the name, the way I spell my name. Check the channel itself, the YouTube channel, and then just put at gmail.com. And so that was something that we can do and work on that. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Prime Leverage. For those of you that have contributed in enriching the conversation, I say thank you. BC Akintayo, thank you so much. Thank you. I know, absolutely. We must not shy away. Life is too short to keep some things in your mind and go to the grave with. So it's better to say the way they go do. Not be insult. We dey take insult, rub Vaseline. No go change your height, no go change your complexion. Now, person wey get man, I dey talking own. So they go talk their own, you go shall live your life. Thank you so much, everyone. It's really been a pleasure. And I hope we will read the book, we read the chapters, and we'll make it more interactive. For those of you who have contributed, thank you. For those of you who have simply listened, also, thank you. And please, 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 when you read the book, please apply. It's something that needs application. It's not just cram. We're not cramming to pass exam. We're not doing any exams. We're going to have application. The thing is, let everybody have that basic financial independence. It makes the world a better place. So thank you so much, everyone, and bye-bye.